Cancer, welcome to I Am the Monad Tarot. Thank you so much for choosing me and trusting me with your reading, and I certainly hope and pray that all is well. Thank you for all your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscribes. Welcome to new members, welcome to new subscribers, and welcome to those who are returning. I appreciate your love and your support. Become a member here at I Am the Monad Tarot, where we have early access to videos as well as members-only videos and monthly readings. Cancer, I'm going to start your reading off here with the Angel Numbers Oracle. Also, Cancer, I'm conducting an 8-week course on the healing of the chakras. This is our last week, but if you're interested, become a member at the $5.99 level. All right, what angel number do we have for Cancer? (2727) Inner strength. You possess inner strength. Use it to overcome challenges on your journey. All right, Cancer. Cancer, I'll be doing your reading here from the Golden Dawn Tarot. Get you some good shuffles in, and we will begin your reading. Give you a nice three-way split. Excuse me, Cancer. All right, Cancer, let's get into it. I'm hearing self-love journey, self-love, self-healing. Okay. You are, I feel like you are on your way or you're set. I'm hearing for a 10 of Pentacles upright. Okay. I'm here because you're doing so well, okay, with your life, minding your business, taking care of your business. I feel like you're taking care of others, so maybe family, children, okay, friends, associates, okay, even if it's just being in caring, loving energy. All right. Give the self-love that you have for yourself. Okay. You're willing to give it to others. And what I mean is because you understand self-love, you have no problem with being loving and caring to others. All right. I feel like anything that presents itself in your life that is not beneficial to you, that is harming you, that where you don't feel any kind of balance or being equally yoked with someone, I feel like you don't have that in your life, nor are you allowing it in your life. I'm hearing not allowing it to resurface, so maybe you had an issue with that in the past, but not anymore. Okay. Balance, temperance, reciprocity, I'm seeing. Okay, like I said, anything that's not in that vein, you are walking away from it. Okay, or you just close off to it. Okay, I keep hearing balance, healing journey. Let me see something for a second. Yeah. Okay. Or anything that is has you anything or anybody that wants to bring you any kind of negativity. Okay, plant any kind of seeds. I'm seeing it right here of negativity. All right. Okay, negativity, like to keep you restricted. Okay, to keep you bound. You know how people do that. They want to try to plant seeds, you know, for you to be in some kind of negative energy. Okay, for you to question yourself and doubt yourself. You're not having that in your life. All right. I feel like you may have, yeah. Like when people come along to try to plant that kind of stuff, you know, in you, okay, that kind of negativity to make you doubt yourself and question yourself and whatnot, I feel like you don't react right away. You don't respond right away, one way or the other. Okay, you don't do the things that people want you to do. Okay, that kind of negative energy wants you to do. Okay, be worried and afraid and all in your head and woe is me and what is I gonna do and all of that. No, you take some time to contemplate what was said to you. Okay, are they coming with sincerity? Is it some bullshit? Let me question the person. And I feel like in regards to, you know, always consider the source, that type of thing. Okay, and if it's not flowing in the direction that you have your life going, you're closed off to it. Okay, you don't allow it to come in your being and fester, okay, and grow into something that's gonna keep you bound. You're not open to that. And it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if this is a quote unquote friend, a family member, okay, it's someone that you feel like you could trust, okay, who's proven that they're not trustworthy. It doesn't matter. You're not open to that. Okay, and I'm hearing any longer. So once again, I feel like you may have gone through this in the past, okay? Yeah. Yeah. This is something, once again, like I'm saying here, okay? This type of thing, I feel like brought you a lot of worry, maybe made you feel haunted, okay, afraid, okay? Just put you in some kind of negative space emotionally, okay, where you were worrying about it and thinking about it all the time. No, but you're not going to allow that anymore, okay? You in a place where you're going to win at all costs for you. Okay? You're going to make sure that your life is going upward, where your mind is right. You know how they used to say, don't bring me no garbage. Okay, you know, your mind is not a garbage can, and you're not a garbage can, and all of that type of thing. Okay, you want to be on the up and going higher and higher and higher. Okay, higher realms within your being, I'm hearing. I'm hearing something about positive affirmations. Maybe you do positive affirmations for yourself. Yeah. You're not taking anybody's, I'm hearing like salty cup of love, fake, phony cup of love. Okay. Supposedly they love you. Supposedly they're telling you this for your own good and all of that. When the reality is, no, they're telling you that these types of negative seeds people plant. I heard. Okay. Such and such and such and such. You know, what is you gonna do? I'm just telling you, I'm just looking out for you. No, they're not looking out for shit. They want to cause you some problems and mayhem and inner turmoil, and you put a stop to that, because I do feel like this was happening in your life, and I feel like ever since you put a stop to that, okay, focus on self-love, focused on yourself, okay, focus on being abundant within yourself and in your own energy here. I feel like you found a lot more contentment, a lot more peace, and you may have even found that I'm hearing this journey regulates you. Okay, the journey that you're on here, this self-love journey, of course, brings you balance. Again, reciprocity, understanding, love. It's like what you're putting out there. I feel like you are attracting it. And not just so much what you're putting out there that you're attracting it, that, but also the fact that when people come at you with this kind of negative injury, I'm hearing, okay, you stop it. Okay, I'm not interested. I'm not having it. You stop it right in the flow. Okay, moving on, okay, and journeying on upward. Okay, you may have found that if these are maybe family, like I said, people, family, lifelong friends, okay, people you've known for a long time, people that you would look at and call home, you may be finding, hey, this ain't really my home, these ain't my people. Okay, this ain't really who I am, this is not really where I belong. Okay, I keep hearing injury because I feel like these are the type of people, whether it's your workplace, your social, environment, family, church environment, possibly, or whatever, if you practice any kind of religion or something like that. Even it could be a spiritual community or something or other. I feel like it's just a lot of negativity. Okay. I'm hearing jokes. Or like it's a joke. I mean, like they're not really responsible, okay, with the care, okay, and heart of the human, okay. I feel like this might be an environment of people who they just want what they want. It's just all the same. I keep hearing injury. It's just all the same. You can put whatever title to it, whether that title be family, whether that title be work environment, whether that title be spiritual community, etc., etc. Okay, it's like you're finding that it's all the same. And what I mean by that is people are people are people are people. No matter what the community is, no matter what the group is, you're going to find that type of thing, okay, amongst people. All right. But sometimes some places are worse than others, okay, especially when there's no regulation. Okay, nothing to regulate it, no accountability and that type of thing. Okay, or this is just how we do this, how we always been. Okay, when you have that type of thing going on. All right. I do. I feel like this is family. Mm. This might be excuse me, Cancer. Okay. Definitely want to stay hydrated in the heat. But I feel like Cancer, this is an environment where there hasn't been much abundance. Okay? And I don't just mean, I mean, not only in terms of the spirit, okay, just not an abundant, prosperous spirit, okay, in the environment. I also mean financially. Okay. Now, I'm not saying y'all poverty stricken and all that kind of stuff, or the family or whatever this may be is poverty stricken. Might be, okay, but it's just no abundance. And it might even be because of such negativity. It may be that the ways that people think is just really non-progressive and maybe like behind. Okay, like what are we living in the 1800s, 1500s, some shit like that. Okay, people still think like this. That may be your attitude, okay, around them, and yeah, people still think like that. Okay, and I feel like you're realizing that this is what is holding the environment here back. This is why they can't move forward. This is why they can't progress forward. But I don't even think that they see anything wrong with it. Okay, but where you're at in your life, you do. Now maybe it's fine for them, but I feel like you're at a place where you realize it's not fine for you. You want to progress. You want to move forward. Okay, I'm here on the up and up, the upswing. You want to be on the up and up, the upswing. Okay, where life is going, where the world is going. I'm hearing like you don't want to be held back. You don't want to be left behind. Okay. You want to see the world as it is, not as it not as it once was. It's like that's old and over with. Okay. I mean, people, you may be thinking like this. People are no longer on that. All right. But yet and still, I feel like even with it as that, there is survival here. Not so much thriving, but definitely surviving. Okay, and maybe even possibly, in regards to the what do you call it? The world view of the environment, they may feel like they're doing well. Okay. Even financially so. And sometimes we can come from environments where generationally, as long as there's a roof, there's food, there's clothes, even if it's raggedy, even if there's assistance there, okay, even if the attitude may be poor and slovenly, Okay, this is we all right. We're making it. We're just fine. Okay, and then when someone wants to do more and achieve more, the attitude may be, well, what makes you think you're better? Okay, when okay, I don't even want to go into all that. Okay, but that can be the spirit. What makes you of this kind of environment? Okay, a community. I'm not saying it's to that level. It might be, okay, where you're coming from, but I just see that it's just like a wheel of misfortune. Okay, it's like the wheel and really with the sun card in reverse. Okay, it's more of a spirit of, this is good enough, this is fine. We don't need to go anyhow. We don't need to do any better. Okay, and that no, people may not say that, but hell, they might. Okay, you might come from an environment where people do say that. Okay, and again, who you think you are. Okay, when you want to do something different. Okay, or you don't want to do things the same old way. You don't want the assistance. Okay, you want to grow higher or whatever. Okay, that may be said. Okay, and I feel like, yeah, you like charging forward and speaking up. Okay, and I don't know if you, well, let me see, let me pull some more cards, but I feel like this is you in this King of Swords energy. King of Swords upright. Mm-hmm. Thinking different, thinking higher once again. Like there's got to be more. And, if others have achieved whatever it is, then you're realizing, so can I. Okay. And you may even be realizing, so can we, for the community. But, you have to focus on yourself. The community may not want that. Sometimes you would think that, they would, or everybody would want this. They don't. Okay. Some people be just happy just where they are. Okay. There's a child here, a young person I'm hearing, possibly a teenager, okay? And I feel like this might be your child. I'm hearing son. I be hearing that for Cancer. I always get this a Cancer about a child, okay? I always hear son, okay? But this is a Princess of Wands here, so that it might be, take it as it resonates, either or. But that may even have something to do with this change of thought that you're having, because there's definitely this transformation here, okay, that is taking place in your life. Okay. It's like you want more for your child. You want more for yourself. This child might be a fire sign here, or have it highly aspected in their chart. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay. But I definitely see the transformation. And once again, it might be as a result of having, I keep hearing son, okay? Or maybe even if it's not a boy or a male, it might be like this child is like sunshine, okay? You're the sunshine of your life, okay? And I'm hearing that has lifted you up, that has made you see things from a different perspective. Like I said, this child might be a teenager, okay? I'm hearing they want you to come on up higher, okay? But again, I feel like maybe something the child said, or just the fact of just a new generation. Like I don't want my generationally, I don't want my child to endure the same issues and problems that I have. I want them to go higher. But I feel like you recognize and realize that you want it for yourself too, and it must take place with you first, so that the child can look at you, look to you as an example, okay, for that. Okay, yeah. New way of thinking, new way of being here. I feel like what this child has done just in their life period. What is it? Isn't it a scripture or something like it says, and a child shall lead them? Let me see if I can find it. I've heard people say this. I think my dad told me that was in there. I don't think I've ever seen it for myself, so I'm going to see real quick. Isaiah 11:16, okay, the phrase, and a child shall lead them. The exact verse. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. I think this is talking about people. Well, in the Christian church, they say this is talking about the end times. And the leopard shall lie down with the young goat. Okay, I can't remember exactly the apocalyptic order. Okay, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together. Oh, this is the thing with that. What's it called? The Mandela effect, where they said, and the scriptures used to say, and it said, the lion shall also dwell with the lamb. And I don't give a fuck what they say. I do remember seeing that and reading that. That Mandela, that, in my opinion, I used to believe in that shit. Now I think it's just some bullshit, okay, to fuck with people's minds, okay? Because some of that shit, kind of side note, some of that shit they be showing, it was never this way. Bullshit. I was living. I remember that shit. And you're not going to talk about, oh, mass, what do they say, forgetfulness or whatever the bullshit is, lies. Motherfuckers are not stupid. People remember. People know what the fuck they saw. Okay? Any kind of mind game on humanity, let's see what they do. Okay? But anyway. But the end of the verse, let me finish reading the verse. And it says, and a little child shall lead them. Okay. But let me get back. So I feel like, not necessarily in regards to the scripture, but I feel like the way this child, it's like lady who raised me. She used to tell me a lot of times, that, me and my sibling, taught her a lot. Okay, she used to be like really quiet and inward. She said people called her mysterious. Now that I know more, what I know is probably more devious than actually that, but sneaky and devious is what the fuck it really was. But anyway, but she did. She said, we taught her a lot because, children are the next generation. And the world has changed. We're older and then they're younger and they're into the whatever the new stuff is. Okay, so just the lives we lived and that things that we were interested in. It, she said it taught her. It opened her up, to a whole nother world that she would have never. She felt she would have never experienced had it not been for us. I feel the same way, like with my daughter. I'm 54. My daughter is 20. Talking sometime with her and her friend. Her friend is 21, and it's like, wow. Wow. And I never thought, I'm Generation X. I feel like in general, our generation kind of always feels like we're in our 20s, but knowing that we're not. But some things, it's like, I remember being young and looking at people who can show me how to do this, can show me how to do that, and or what is that, scoffing at the new technology of my day when I was in that age, and having a youthful mind and just thinking like, sometimes when you're young you think, oh, I'm never going to be that way. Okay. And in some areas you may not. You may always be open, okay, to the new world that has been ushered in, okay, with that new generation. But in some things, you might not be that way. You might be closed off, or you might feel like you can't do it. What is that? Shit is so much new shit now. Oh my God. But nevertheless, I learned a lot from my daughter about things that, were not issues for. Well, we didn't think was an issue, like a lot about mental health. It's like, wow, in one realm, in one way I could say, that's all you talk about is mental health. Some of this shit, hey, right, y'all ain't got that shit, But the more I learn about it, so funny, especially talking to people my age, it's like, damn, I had that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, I talk to some people my age, and it's like, man, I realized I had such. My daughter, how did y'all handle it? How did we handle it? We didn't have all of this talk about mental health back then. We just handled it by we just lived. Didn't know there was anything to handle. You know, what you all call anxiety, we made it just called, being, I'm just real nervous right now. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't want to get off into that. I'm just using that as an example. Or there may be sometimes an over-diagnosis, but it doesn't mean that that some of the diagnoses are not real, okay? And you look at yourself, from back then, and it's like, man, I went all these years. That's what the fuck was wrong with me, But it wasn't no diagnoses and all of that type of shit. There might have been for certain groups of people. But not everybody. Okay, was privy to that. Okay, so but let's just keep on going. I'm just saying that to say I feel like this youthful person here in your life. Okay, maybe it's your child, maybe just this youthful person, opened some doors and some reality to you that you may not have known. Because I feel like with the World Wide Web, like, man, that shit didn't hit. Till I was like. It became a thing. Like, I remember my 30s. And it's like the world has opened up so much where, things that I have talked to young people. And when I say young people, I mean like in their 20s, even teens, because I used to be a substitute teacher talking to them. And the things that they were interested in and wanted to do was like, wow, they didn't even know nothing about that shit back then. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's awesome. And I think this is what I'm feeling, the place that you are at, okay, Cancer, and that's beautiful energy, okay. I don't think I need to go any further, okay. I just feel like stay on track, okay, with that, okay, because it doesn't matter just because this person is young, as long as you're living, goddamn, okay. And I feel like it's even opened up for people my age, open the world up the world for people my age and people older. It's amazing to see what older people are doing, okay, in the world now. Whereas, before the world was open like this, people my age, okay, were like, I don't know, were they 40s and grandparents. Sometimes I watch like old shows. And I think I remember one time I was watching the Jeffersons, in the last few years. And I think George and them was like in their 40s. I was like, 40s? I thought that was in like maybe they late 50s going on 60s. Not back then. I'm talking about now watching it. Okay, because 40s now ain't that. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the success or anything. Just the way they were dressed, and it was just such a different time, such a different era. You know what I'm saying? And I look and see people my age, on here and older. Once again, shit, thank God for the World Wide Web, for the technology, for the advancement. Hell, just because you pass 30 and whatnot don't mean you gotta be fucking decrepit. But anyway, all right, it's just like, look at all these people, all the wonderful things that people are doing, and all the wonderful things out there, okay, that people are exploring within themselves and in their being, and so on and so forth. Everything has its light and dark. The yin and yang is going to be in everything. So it ain't all negative. It's a wonderful thing, all right? All right, and I think that what you are doing, Cancer, in being open to what this young person in your life has expressed to you, or maybe they haven't said anything to you, maybe it's just their life, you watching them and observing them. I think it's awesome that you have a mind even to absorb that and listen to it and be open to it, because some people don't. And that's one of them, I think, them old kind of fogey ideas where you can't, like, they don't know nothing. Yes, the fuck they do. Just because they're young doesn't mean anything. They know a lot. They may not have the experience you have, and that's not to take away what you know either. Okay, we're here for one another. Okay, you have experiences that are just life experiences, no matter what time period it is, that can be helpful to them, and they have some knowledge of the new day and time that we're living in that can be helpful to you as well. So I think it's awesome that you're open to it, because I feel like as long as you still, your body moving, you got breath in your body, and you still living, hell, there's still things to do and enjoy and growth. okay, to take place in one's life, even transforming one's life, which I see here is what you have done. All right. All right. From the Soul Truth Self-Awareness deck, what expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? The expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment with ourselves or with a relationship when they are not met. It's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. Today's soul action: be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for our soul, and it is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. If you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. And go ahead and experience that extreme fulfillment. All right. I certainly hope that resonated with some Cancer. I ask that you all like, share, and subscribe. To those who have subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you have not, but you watch my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, thumbs up, comment, come over, see what's happening here at I Am the Monad Tarot. You are a favorite. Peace.